Hey Frontline fans, welcome back to Comic Frontline and fans. You're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do that all-important comic book review so you, the fans, can make a decision on what comics to buy. And today, guys, we're talking about Part 2 of Dead No More, The Clone Conspiracy. And this book is written by Dan Slott, and the artwork is done by, who was it? Jim Chang. Artwork on the cover is absolutely gorgeous as we get to see Spider-Man bobbing and weaving between Dr. Octopus's arms, and the interior artwork is really well done. I do love the attention to detail in this book. I love the pages, the battling. I love the facial expressions as well. They're much more refined than Giuseppe Comicoli's artwork. In this issue, we get to see a ton of villains in this book, and it's great to see all these supporting cast members back in this issue, even if they are clones or if they're going to last or not. But this page was my favorite in here, and it was awesome. Great to see some of these characters back, like the Tarantula. We get to see the Rose. He's back as well. We get to see Stiltman. He's back. One of the Hobgoblins is back. And, of course, like I said in the last issue, Spider Slayer makes his return. So now that I like the artwork, what do I think about the story? Well, just to let you guys know, there is spoilers in this review, so if you haven't read your copy, please read your copy, then come back, put your comments below on what you thought of this particular issue. All right, so let's recap the book a bit, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on the issue. So, what I like about this book right from the beginning is it gives you a nice recap of everything that you may have missed or possibly forgotten. And I feel like more comics should do this, especially on the DC side. You know, it's been a couple of weeks since you read a book and you forget certain details that happen. That recap page really makes a difference. So, in the beginning of this book, right away, you wind up seeing San Francisco. And it's this dead, desolate world. And it's zombies running around. And the person that's running away from them is Kane. And you're like, oh, damn, it's Kane. He's back. We haven't seen him in forever. So right away, you're like, sweet, we got another player in this game. And the next thing we wind up seeing is that he wakes up in his own bed, and he was like, oh, man. He's like, thank God. He's like, I'm back on my own Earth, you know. And we have this voice that's screaming to him, and he's like, hey, yo, Spider Boy. He's like, I need my medication. And she's like, yeah, hold on. He's like, hold on. He's like, stop freaking out. And then he's like, I got some donuts and some milk. Why don't you have some of that stuff? So you're like, oh, okay. So you think nothing of it, but you're kind of like, all right, now they're going back to the main story. So what's Kane's play in all this? So we leave off right where we left off in The Amazing Spider-Man, and we see Dr. Octopus sitting there fighting Spider-Man, and he kind of recaps once again everything that has happened to him and how he's stored his brain and he's relived. So we know that part already. And the funny thing is like, he knows everything on Spider-Man. He knows all his technology and things like that. And Peter's like, well, I'm going to surprise you with my concrete webbing and my electric webbing, and I'm going to do this. And he's like one step ahead of him. He's planned for all contingencies because that is what Dr. Octopus does. And he's like, how do you know all my moves, Dr. Octopus? And Dr. Octopus is like, because I was living in that stupid robot. And he's like, would you care for a tasty beverage? And you're like, oh, damn, he just spilled the beans. He was the living brain. And Peter's like, oh, shit, you were the living brain this whole time. And right away, before I read this issue, I'm like, I wonder if Dan Slott's going to write Otto Octavius by saying, the die is cast. And sure enough, the very next line, he says it. The die is cast. It's his famous line. He loves writing that line for Dr. Octopus. So as the battle starts to get heated up, we wind up seeing that the Jackal and his little cronies and his duplicates wind up coming out, and their job is to sit there and try to convince Peter that New U technology is a fresh start for everybody, for him, for the reanimated people, and he's trying to get him on board, and he's the biggest player of the whole thing. So as the issue progresses, Spider-Man kind of wonders why Gwen, the Gwen clone, is not setting off his spider sense when all the other Gwen clones are setting it off. So as we see things, and he continues to tour, we see that the Jackal has literally resurrected every single person that was been part of Peter Parker's life. Good, bad, died, whatever happened, he's resurrected it to prove to him that this is a fresh start for everybody. And they have to take this medication in order to stay alive. We also get to see one little page here of Marla and J. Jonah with them talking with each other, just kind of promoting the tie-in issue for the Silk one that's to come. So as the issue progresses, we see that the Prowler is there, and Peter's like, this is preposterous. He's like, I can't go with this. This is insane. And the next thing we wind up seeing is Gwen starts talking, and she's like, yeah, this is a new start for you. This is no blood on your hands. And Captain Stacy goes right next to his daughter, and right away he points her out, and he's like, you're not my daughter. He's like, who are you? And he points the gun at her head, and you're thinking at this point, you're like, oh, shit. You're like, is it like a flaw in the clones that they're going to start killing each other? So it's like, oh, that would be crazy if he shoots her in the head and then she's dead. But that's not the case. We wound up finding out that her spider sense goes off, and it is Spider-Gwen. And you're like, oh, damn, Spider-Gwen's involved in this. There's your other player, and there's the connection. Kane and Spider-Gwen have come from their universes to try to stop this whole, what looks like apocalyptic universe from happening, because you got to see that in the beginning of this issue. So now that's where this all ties together. So right away, once her cover is blown, her and Peter have to escape. The Jackal's onto it. He sets his cronies off to try to chase after him. Next thing you wind up seeing is we flash back now. We go back to Kane. He's teaming up with the Horizon University people, Horizon Labs people. And we get to see the original Spider-Gwen clone tied up in the trunk. And she's like, I need my medication. So that was the medication girl that was screaming through the door earlier. And he's like, hold on, we'll get it for you. And we wind up finding out at the end of this issue that Peter Parker is one of the responsible people for the new U technology and pushing it forward, and why the world becomes the way it is today, or in the future, sorry. Wow, really good. I definitely did not see this book going in the direction that it did go. You know, we're trying to find out, what are we going to do different from just clones, right? Well, here you are. You get the people from the different universes teaming up to try to stop Peter from preventing this from happening. So really interesting stuff. And I love how they inserted Spider-Gwen in that situation. I did not see that coming once whatsoever. And even when it wasn't setting off his spider sense, I just thought it was some kind of rejected clone or some kind of craziness like that. So I really love the pacing of this issue, and I really loved how the plot started to thicken here. The part that I wasn't too crazy on was Dr. Octopus ranting and raving again about how he got his intellect back and how he defeated Parker and one step ahead. But I get it, it was to kind of close the door on that chapter on him coming back and to really start this next issue of the Clone Conspiracy. So overall, I thought this book was absolutely really well written. I love the artwork. I think it's better than Giuseppe Comicoli's artwork. And I can't wait to see where issue 3 goes now, and how are they going to stop Peter from doing this, you know, going forward. How are they going to change the future? So really great stuff. Can't wait to see what happens. I got to give this one a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. Guys, now it's your turn in the comments below to tell me what you thought of Dead No More, The Clone Conspiracy, issue number 2. So again, fans, as always, thank you for watching Comic Frontline. And until the next comic book review, check out all the other Frontliners comic book reviews and hauls. And don't forget to check out our live show each and every Tuesday night, 9:30, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as always, guys, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Take care. Bye.